and that's what I'm going to be cooking today. So nice, easy recipe. I'm going to just show you a couple of bits and bobs that are going in it, and then I'll try and just show you kind of as I'm cooking along. To start with, I've got a big bowl of grated sweet potato and some courgettes that I've chopped up finely. Courgettes aren't in this recipe. I'll send this recipe across to you, but I've just added them in because I like them in. That's simple as that. I like to add as much greenery as I can. Then the next bit that's going to be going into that mix there is some bok choy. Again, just adding some greenery in there. This is in the recipe, so just put that in there. I've got some finely chopped some onions, so that'll be going in. And then we've got some tomatoes and peppers. 2 peppers and a load of chopped tomatoes. We've got spinach, big bowl of spinach. That's 3 cups of spinach. And we have a lime. And that's it. That's pretty much what's going to go in it today. I've got 2 pans set up over here. So I've got my frying pan. And I've got my saucepan. It's quite a large saucepan. You need quite a large one for what's going to happen in a bit. And then my first port of call is to get those sweet potatoes in and the courgettes in. So I've got 2 tablespoons of oil in each pan, and that's what I'll be cooking with today. Now, my pan is nice and hot. I've got the oil all warmed up. So first port of call, all I'm going to do is I'm going to add in my sweet potato and I'm going to add in my courgette. All right. Once we get the sweet potato and the courgettes in and get them under heat, they're going to take the longest, so I'm going to get them in first. I've got a little grating machine, but you can grate it by hand. If you never had grated sweet potato in the morning, there's so many recipes that I do with grated sweet potato, I love it. Sometimes I'll have it with a little bit of smoked bacon, finely chopped, put it all in, and then crack an egg in there, kind of make it all together into like a sweet potato hash. But anyway, today, if you're counting macros, nice and simple. We've got 350 grams of sweet potato in there, and we have sweet potato in there with some courgette, and just nice and simply chopped. And I'm just going to basically put this in for about 5 minutes. I'm going to add some salt to it in a second, teaspoon of sea salt, and then I'll just keep whisking this around. And then I'll start adding some other ingredients with it, like the cumin and stuff from there. So that's simply all you're going to do for 5 minutes now. Just nice and steadily get this sweet potato and this courgette warm, and then we'll start adding the other ingredients in, like the bok choy, and then we'll add in some seasoning, and then we'll go from there. All right, nice and simple. Okay, gang. So next bit, we're going to start off with the salsa. So we're going to start getting the peppers in. And then the onions, first of all, they'll need to go in first just because they take a little bit longer. So once we've got our pan nice and hot and get our oil hot from there, what we're going to do is just add all that in. So the peppers, the onions, we're going to do. This recipe always says about a teaspoon of salt or half a teaspoon of salt. I can't quite remember. I'm just going to crack in some pink Himalayan salt in. I always do, and just do it to taste. That's how I tend to cook. It's entirely up to you guys. I don't really have any big qualms about salt, unless you're using that crappy table salt. But if you're using kind of proper rock salt, I use pink Himalayan and kind of sea salt, then you're absolutely fine. So once I've got this pan nice and warm and that heat starts to get that oil warm, all I do is add in the veggies. Now, again, the sweet potato is, sweet potato for sweet potato is just cooking a bit more gentle now. So what I'll do is a couple more minutes is I'll add in more spinach because that wilts really quickly. So I'll add that in because I'm just going to be managing this pan of sweet potato and courgettes for the whole time I'm cooking this other pan off now. So literally all I'm going to do is just crack on, keeping that sweet potato nice and warm and just cooking it through with the courgette, and then I'll get that in a minute. But now, hopefully, my pan's been on for a couple of minutes. So my oil's nice and hot. So I'm simply just going to add in my my onion. And then I'm going to add in my peppers, but I'm going to leave the tomatoes till later. So once the peppers go in, I'm going to add in a teaspoon of cumin. And then, like I said, you can add salt or not add salt to the degree that the recipe says. I'm just going to crack a load of thick Himalayan salt in there. And then I'm just going to get stirring that through now and just start bringing those onions and peppers up first, getting them nice and soft and cooked. And then once they're cooked, we'll basically add in all the rest of the ingredients. This recipe, you can add in some jalapenos if you like jalapeno in the morning, like a little bit of kick. We can add those in. I'm not going to do that on this recipe, just to show you guys, but I do like a little bit of spice sometimes in the morning. So what I'll do is probably just add a little bit of Tabasco at the end with the lime. All right, so that's entirely up to yourselves and the taste. So I'm just going to start cooking those onions and peppers through, and with my pan over here that's on the low heat, I'm now just going to add in, this is 3 cups of spinach. So that's just going to go in there. And we're simply just going to get that spinach moving. Always drop a piece of spinach when I'm cooking, so too fast with it. Just let it wilt first and then start stirring it around, Mike. So get that spinach in, let that get settled. Then I'll start stirring that through with the sweet potato and the courgette. And then I'm now going to just be browning off my onions very slightly and getting those peppers nice and soft. And then I'll be adding in the final bits of ingredients to the salsa. And then we'll finish off with adding my pan of veggies. So my bok choy, my spinach, my courgette and my sweet potato all cooking nice and slowly still in there. My pan of onions and peppers just starting to turn, starting to get that brown in. So what we're going to do with about 5 minutes, I'm basically going to now add the tomatoes. So again, speak properly, Mike, otherwise your nana will be turning in the grave. You just always speak properly. So we get the tomatoes in there, and we get the little bit more salt. Again, half a teaspoon, I think the recipe says. I just crack a little bit of pink Himalayan salt in there. And then we're going to get another half teaspoon of cumin in there. And then we're just going to get that stirred round. And then this is going to be about another 5 minutes just on the high heat, just getting those tomatoes nice and soft. And then from there we're going to lower that heat down, and that's when we bring in the eggs for 5 minutes. And then that's your breakfast or early lunch, brunch, whatever you kind of want this recipe for. Done for the day. Just got a little bit of lime to add, and like I said, I'll probably add some Tabasco. Key thing is, guys, some of you guys that are good at cooking will be watching me going, oh my God, you don't do it like that, you don't do it like this. Just take it easy. Just learn how to cook real food. And that's going to be the first key step that you do. It doesn't matter what recipes you're following, as long as it's using real food and it's not like deep fat fried in a chip pan and stuff like that, and you're learning how to make your food yourself. It's one of the most important life lessons you're ever going to learn. So just making sure that you're kind of making things easy for yourself. Don't pick the most complex recipe in the book. Go with your own skill set. To start with some basic recipes if you're not that good in the kitchen and just get to use everything. You might start to notice that you've not got the right utensils. Me and my wife have had 15 years together of building up a library of all kinds of stuff. So, we've got all the knives that we need now and a nice blender and the cooker. But I remember when we started at my old flat, I had this tiny little cooker with one pan, and you start building up on things from there. So don't stress about it. Just make sure that you've got the right things in, but don't be stressed about going to the shops and having to buy everything. Just learn to make basic, real cooked food. All right, so we've got those tomatoes in now, and I'm just going to keep stirring them through for another 5 minutes. Well, it's been a couple of minutes now, so about 3 or 4 minutes. And then once these start to really soften, then I'll be adding in the egg. And then okay, so we're there now, really. All I'm going to have to do, so I've basically, if you can see there, I know my food presentation skills needs working on. But it's a charlotte, it's got 2 eggs, the salsa, we've got the grated sweet potato and the bok choy and the spinach and everything all nicely under there with the courgettes. And then simply all I'm going to do is just get a lime, season it with a little bit of lime on both. I like a lot of lime on mine, so I'll probably just use just over half. And then I'll probably add a little bit of Tabasco, because that's kind of like one of my favourite things in the morning. A little bit of spice with some sweet potato when I get the time. Like I said, this isn't a day to, this isn't how me and Charlotte eat every single day. It's a rarity, just when we've got time. Maybe it's a weekend dish, maybe it's when you've got a day off from work or whatever else. Or maybe it's something that you can prepare the night before, because I've prepped this before, put it in a tub and then reheat it the next day very gently. So it's something that's very simple to do. But again, what we'll do next time is we'll just show you some quick, smart, easy recipes. Just go from there. But it shouldn't always, the message for today is, it shouldn't always be quick and easy. Like, you should learn to kind of, cook food well, and also to enjoy the preparation of food. If I didn't have this video on today, so you've deprived me of my music, because I'd usually be singing away, having music on, and it's kind of a nice therapeutic kind of environment for me to just kind of get my mind working and just getting everything moving. So anyway, hope you enjoyed that, and I hope Charlotte enjoys it, because she's not had this before, and then we'll go from there.